you. Does this work? All right. Did this end up working? Yes. Okay, cool. Well, hey, thank you all for coming out today. I'm going to scare you. Chris Carlisle's like, are you going to scare everybody again? I was like, yes, I am. So, little quick background on me. I've had a number of technology startups and exits. I've raised a ton of capital here in Arizona. I've always been involved kind of, they call early adopter, bleeding edge of technology, and that's kind of what's gotten me to the AI space over the last couple of years. And I cannot explain how important and earth-changing this is and why you have to do that and why you should be scared to start, and then we'll kind of work through what you can do. But I've got 7 different organizations that I'm involved in right now. We have, I think, 8 part-time employees, and just 3 years ago, we had over 25 to do that. We're more efficient today. It's happening, and that's what I want to really go through a presentation with everybody today. This is going to happen, and you can win at this. Real quick, do me a favor. Everybody that owns a business, please stand up. All right, good. I'm at the right place. All right, good. All right, so if you own a business, keep standing. Oh, we're not done yet. 100%. Come on, people. All right, so if you've used AI, stay standing. Any AI that you consider, anything you consider AI, stay standing. All right, this is good. This is really good. If you use it daily, stay standing. Everybody else sit down. I mean, you daily. You log in, you use something AI daily. Okay? All right. Hourly? All right. Wow, there's still some people standing. I'm impressed. Okay. All right, everybody go ahead and sit down. Let's dig into this. That's going to be the reality here, and that's what it's going to be, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's do this. Ooh, that's small on here. Sorry about that. Hopefully everybody can see this. I'll try to stay out of the way. But really, it's already here. This isn't like, oh, I'm thinking about this. I need to be doing this in my business. We used to have discussions 5 years ago. There was 2 types of businesses out there. There was a business that used processes and automation and technology, and there are those businesses that are going out of business. The companies that have really succeeded post-COVID times, they have processes and technologies. They have good CRMs. They have good workflow management. They are embracing the technology. The other businesses, they've failed. I mean, we're already talking about a business rate. Most businesses go out of business within 5 years. And so you're already at a disadvantage if you haven't been using these tools. And AI is going to be even bigger. And so some of these things, and it's happening faster, and I'll go into some of the slides here, but like everybody knows about ChatGPT. It is the fastest technology as far as growth in users ever. They reached, 1 million users in the first 5 days of launching a technology. To get to that point, Twitter took like 6 months. Facebook took, I think, like 3 years to get to the first 1 million users. This took 5 days. And this is just the beginning of the iceberg. ChatGPT is kind of old news now. So that's kind of really big here. The tools, again, are not nice to use. You have to be using them daily. You have to integrate them into your business because I guarantee you your competition is. The consequences, obviously, of falling behind. I mean, I'm gonna be harsh. If you're not embracing these tools right now, you're gonna be out of business within 5 years. This is coming. You're inefficient. The costs are higher. The bottom line is everybody in this room, I think, has been affected by what cost of employees have gone up, right? Like in the last 3 or 4 years, they've gone through the roof. And just like my example when I started the presentation, we went from 25 full-time employees. This is all because of technology. Our business didn't change. We're actually doing more business today than we did 5 years ago. But because of these technologies, we've been able to scale down. And guess what? Our competitors that are behind this curve, they're still paying people to do this work. They're still paying a lot of this. So they're at an extreme disadvantage because what we're saving, we can put into advertising, we can put into marketing, we can put into new technologies. So that is our edge. And the one thing, the number I really want to highlight here is 2030. That is when things are going to really change. That is when you're going to wake up and be like, what happened? What's going on here? It's going to affect something like 300 million jobs. And as employers, you're like, I don't care. I'm a business owner. This is going to affect every aspect of business. 300 million jobs globally. Most of them are going to be gone. Some of them are going to be transformed. The skills, what they're saying is the skills that you have right now are going to be completely different at this time period. You will be doing different daily activities within 5 years. And that should be a wake-up call. You should be like, oh, crap. We're in trouble. We need to make these changes. And that's what we're here to talk about today. This is as big as the Blockbuster versus Netflix thing. I mean, everybody saw about a week and a half ago, Redbox. Done. Same type of thing. These are the transformations that are happening in the business space as we speak. Your business, this is your Blockbuster, if you're not using these tools. Big companies are already doing this. They're just not talking about it because you don't want to go on the news and say, hey, they got rid of 300 employees. Real quick example, there was a company that I think they had something like 5,000 service reps. They fired them all in March and replaced them with AI, chatbots, things like that. Their customer support scores went up. That was not the reaction that people were expecting. And so those are really the kind of things. And I also want to compare like some of the things and the impacts here. This is the past. These charts are from last year. It's already accelerating even faster, but you look at some of these technologies. Electricity, look how long it took for the average household to get electricity. Look how long it took the average household to get color TV. This is fast. This is instant. Like, everybody had access to ChatGPT worldwide in a day. So, again, I want to stress to everybody in this room, this is happening fast and now. And if you're not doing it, I promise you, the person sitting next to you will. The person down the street will. The larger companies are already at an advantage. This is the first thing that has ever happened to where everybody in this room, if you're a one-person company or if you're a 500-person company, you have the same level playing field as the billion-dollar company down the street. Unlike a lot of other technologies that have come out, you didn't have access to it. When the internet first came out, only universities had access to it. Only big businesses had access to it. It took 20 years for the average business to have access to it. This is happening in reverse. What I mean is, these technologies, instead of it being only available to your biggest competition, it's available to you. It's available to the person that hasn't started their business yet. That is what this technology represents. And so, examples of the technology, let's hopefully this plays. I don't have any audio. Okay. It's saying this is not real. This is an example of a technology. This is not me. This is a totally AI-generated avatar, as they call it. You type what you want it to say, and it will create an entire video in your image. And we're not quite there yet to where it's 100%. Oh, I can tell. When I post this stuff, people are like, oh, well, it did this, and you blinked here, and you don't blink, and stuff like that. And so you can do this. You know what this costs? $20 a month. And I'm going to talk about some of the tools that you can use. And you can put out infinite number of videos. Like, my biggest problem is, like, I love to put out YouTube content and things like that. I don't have the time. It takes forever to edit. Like, I film it and it sits there. Who else does that? Who else films stuff and it never actually gets uploaded because you hate editing? Yeah, everybody, yeah. So this is all done for you. It's edited product, ready to go. The script that it talks was generated based off of my other YouTube videos. It knows my personality. It knows the words I choose. It mimics other things that are out there. And it's minimal effort. I can do this 15 minutes a day and put up a video or whatnot. Audio. You gotta listen to the words of this one. It's about Tab. A song, fully edited, all the words, all the music, all the lyrics, the beat, the voices, free. I didn't even pay for that subscription. You can upgrade to do it. It'll do a full 3-minute video. So if you've ever wanted a jingle for your business, what are you doing? Pop open your phone and do it real quick. So these are, again, tools that were only available to big businesses. Like, what would it cost 5 years ago to get a jingle for your business? 10,000? 15,000? By the time you got free. Why wouldn't you use these tools? And let's see if I can back up to the other one.
There was nothing in this video that's real. We've reached a point in AI technology where it's becoming very difficult to tell real from fake. Follow my YouTube channel to find out how to use these tools in your business. If you don't, your competition will.
And this is now. I'm not saying it's great, but give it a year and a half. If you know how to use these tools right now, you're going to be the expert coming out of the gate, and people are going to be like, how does that person do it? How do they keep up with all this stuff? Oh, that's how I cheat. You can cheat too. There we go. All right, so it's all about productivity. They keep saying, and I keep hearing in the news, we are going to see in the next couple of years the first billion-dollar company with one employee, the founder. They're not saying if, it's a matter of when. So anybody in this room could be that billion-dollar company founder with one employee. That's exciting. That's never in history of business ever been a possibility that one person on their own could create a billion-dollar company with no employees. I mean, that's insane. So again, back to leveling the playing field. So some of the tools. If you're not using ChatGPT this second, it's been out for now, like the current version and iteration has been out for a couple of years, you are losing big time. And they are rolling stuff out constantly to it. Do the paid version. I still have people who are like, oh, I don't want to do the paid version. The paid version does make a difference. If you can't afford $19 a month, you may not want to be in business anymore. The amount of time, labor, and that goes into it, that it's augments for you, I can tell you that $19 a month probably saves me $10,000, $20,000 a month. Just that one tool. Another thing, the video I did was HayGen. It'll create an avatar of you. You spend 5 minutes in front of a green screen, and they will make you. A cool thing that came out yesterday was they will, and I love this because I hate Zoom calls. They will make an avatar of you, and it will show up for you at a Zoom call, which is fantastic because I am tired about Zoom calls. But it'll answer questions. It'll if you have product information for it, some of your employees, 12 o'clock at night, you could do trainings, you could do customer service, things like that. Middle of the night, they pop on and they're like, it's a full index of everything about your companies right there. It pulls stuff from your website, from your operating manuals, and it's you. I'm just thinking, like, real quick story, 2008 happened. It was a really bad time for a lot of businesses here, mine included. We had to let a lot of people go. We went from an office the size of this room to an office the size of that little cubby there, but we survived. We did that by outsourcing a lot of the talent overseas. And that's the moment that we're at right now. This kind of thing, I mean, I still have people in the Philippines that work for one of my companies, but they're in trouble because technology is now caught up with it. Technical support for them can be done here, and it can be more accurate, and it can be better quality, and it can be by the book every time, because I can tell you, my staff doesn't always go by the book, and it drives me crazy. This will. Some of the other tools, Google NotebookLM, look it up. This is free to use, fantastic tool. Let's see here. Headshots. This is the easiest, simplest one right here. There's probably about 150 different AI headshot companies out there. You can go in your bathroom and be like, and the pictures will be fantastic. Check out my LinkedIn profile. It was that. It was just, I wanted to play with it one day, and I was just like, eh. And it makes you perfect every single time. They've been using filters on Instagram and everything else for years. Why wouldn't you have the upper edge and use these things for your headshots? And guess what it costs? It's like $5 or $10. What does a regular headshot cost these days? $100? And they're not always that great. Again, this is what, so there's a bunch of them out there. I didn't put a name of a brand. You should be doing your headshots right now through AI. You can do it while you're sitting here, and you'll get them by the time you get home, and they'll be fantastic. I went to, like, the backgrounds and everything were places I could only dream of going. They were fantastic. Another one is Play HT. Again, if you guys like podcasts and things like that, it will basically do it for you, just like that video. It's funny, when I started making this, the video stuff wasn't out yet, and now the video stuff is there. And that's how fast this is happening. That's why you gotta stay up on it and be on top of these things. And then the last thing is what I did for Tab here is Suno is how you create your jingles and songs and things like that. It will even make you a Swiftie version if you ask it to. I thought about it. So it knows everything. It's been trained on everything. So any style you're looking for, anything you're looking for, even if you're just creating videos for YouTube content, things like that, you can create your own background music for this thing. Everything can be custom. Everything we turn out, like, just a few years ago, it was like, I don't have time for that. And we're turning out videos, we're turning out content, we're turning out product information, customer slicks, informational videos, like things that would take days, weeks, months, even years on my wish list immediately were just gone because these things are just so incredible and so inexpensive. Do you guys remember Jarvis? Iron Man? Come on, nobody remembers Iron Man? All right, yeah. So in the scenes where he would build the suit and things like that, he didn't have it all in his head. He didn't know every single thing that had to happen, but he worked with his assistant Jarvis because Jarvis did know everything. You have Jarvis right now, free on your phone. Anything that you can think of, you've got the most intelligent, well-versed, well-educated assistant, advisor right on your phone. This is kind of an example of one thing that I did with it. And I know it's hard to see, it's impossible, but those of you who have done a deep dive in business, there's a thing called TAM, SAM, which is basically your total addressable market share, your service addressable market share, like all the details of a business that you should probably do before you do a business. A lot of people do a business because they love what they have a passion for something. Passion will only take you so far. If you don't know the market, if you don't know the numbers, that's why we see 50% of all businesses fail, because they're passion-based instead of detailed-based. We used to put on seminars that would take all weekend, and it would be a crash course to get this information. You can do this in 5 minutes. So you guys have a spa in Scottsdale. It knows the demographics of the area within your square mile. It knows all the details of your customers, what the age groups are. It knows everything. So in my example that I did here, I did, I think, a cell phone retail store in Prescott, Arizona. And it tells me what the demographics look like, what the cost per item looks like, what the breakdown looks like, everything here, every detail of what it can make. And it spit out at the end that I could probably make between $900 and $4,500 a month. Gone. Right? Instead of wasting your time on things that won't make money in the end, your smartest advisor assistant has all this data and details right here. Don't waste your time. If you have an idea, great, ideas are great. Work through it in 20 minutes. Don't spend a lifetime doing something that's not a good idea. You've got it, it's right here. It's right at your fingertips. It's on your phone. All right, we already talked about it though. If you're not doing this daily, if you don't do something AI daily, you're losing. Somebody else is. Everybody else is. And the younger crowd is even better at it than we are. And so we have, the biggest thing I want to let and encourage everybody is do something. Don't think about, oh, I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do this. I don't know where to go. I feel like I missed something here. Let's see. I think I went through all the tools. I did, okay. Do something. And that's the biggest thing is everybody is thinking about using AI. Stop thinking about it because this is the biggest thing in the entire world to your business. And I promise you, this landscape, this room is going to look very different in 5 years. And I don't want to scare you to say, oh, it's horrible, the world's ending, the drones are coming, if you saw Elon Musk thing last week. No, this is the biggest opportunity we could ever have. You have a playing field, if you're early enough to this, which we are right this moment, to where you can utilize this and you have that edge, not your competition. You have this ability to compete with billion-dollar companies. You could be that billion-dollar one-employee company right now. And you can figure out what that is right now from your phone. Anyway, I left some time for some questions and answers. If you guys had some, if you had some ideas, business questions of what to do with it, I'd love to answer some of those questions. So, what do you got? Yes? So, ChatGPT does have an app, and you can put it on there, and it has a voice component as well. So you literally push the button and ask it a question, and it will tell you voice interaction with what you do. I'll see if I can pull it up real quick.
Hey there, I've got a really great feeling about us teaming up. How can I jump in and help?
What is the best way to network businesses?
Are you looking to start a business related to networking? Or got it.
I don't think we have good internet
Well,
here. Yeah, we don't have great internet in here, but it's basically you would have a full conversation. You just leave it in record mode, and it will talk to you like you're talking to a consultant or a person. And the thing is every book that was ever written is in here. Every consultant, all of their work, all of their paperwork. And the one thing I want to really highlight with AI and what's happened, about 1.5 years ago, we ran out of data. That means AI is now aware of every piece of work that humans have created from all time. And now we're at the point to where they're trying to extrapolate and train it on fake data because we're out of data. It knows everything on the internet. So can you imagine asking a consultant that knows everything from all human time and absolutely everything on the internet? You have that right at your fingertips right now. All right, any others? Yeah?
What's the legal ramifications of all of what you're talking about with when I'm watching you speaking? What does that mean in court?
All right, so he was asking what is the legal ramifications of everything like speaking, things like that. They are trying to put some safeties in, but we are in such a gray, weird time area where everything goes until it doesn't. Everything goes until somebody breaks it. The key is by the time the legal system catches up with all of this, it's over. It'll be so, and I thought I had a chart on here which shows the trajectory of what AI is doing. It is happening so fast, it's exponential. And by the time that any of the checks and balances get enrolled, any of the legal verbiage catches up, it's going to be removed from our hands, basically, to be able to have this advantage against big business that we have. And that's why the time to make wealth and build this kind of stuff is in the gray time. We're in the gray time. Anybody else? Good point, and that's Sam Martin, and he knows because he uses it. So he's asking what is the copyright ramifications of the audio? It passes all of the YouTube, Facebook, copyright criteria. So sometimes when you upload video and you have music in the background that you don't own the rights to, they flag your video. So far, 100% has passed without issue. You can use it freely. There's been no problems. You don't get flagged. It's unique content that you can use. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Okay, so the first question was, do you have a good one for SEO? And so a lot of this is opinion. So Google changed their algorithm last year because of AI. So SEO is kind of dying because of that. They're flagging a lot of sites that are perfectly written because they think it's AI written. So it's really, really hard. So I don't have a great example for that right now because Google is trying to defeat it. It's an arms race, basically. And the other one is where you have like a great model that you could use to make this sustainable. So my daughter owns a blogging company, and in the paid version of ChatGPT, you can actually create a model in there, and it's sustainable. You can also, and this may be a little technical, but you can actually create offline AIs as well. That are models that are sustainable and things like that. But in ChatGPT, it's so easy. As long as you have the paid version, you can create an entire profile like I do for my YouTube channel. It knows everything about my YouTube channel. So when I ask it a question, I don't have to re-explain it every single time. It knows, it's an expert on it. And so you can create as many as you want in the actual interface itself. So I hear a lot of people talk about hallucinations, and I'm not going to lie, it was really bad at first. It's gotten extremely better since they added a web search capability to most of the AIs out there. And so instead of it checking its internal database, basically, for the data, you can actually instruct it to go out and check the internet for the and references. And so when it's generating your results, if you do that, say, check the web for this. The results are more modern, they're more current, and it will cite every single source that it found it from. And so probably the best way to do it is always have it check the internet for fresh data, and you actually can put that in the prompt so that you're not getting hallucinations back from it. Anybody else? Here. Yeah, over here. For a while, people were selling prompts. I think they're still doing that. I think it's a little ridiculous. Back to you have Jarvis, so people are like, where do I start? I don't know where to start. Ask it. If you ask it, it will tell you what to ask it. And that's the coolest thing, and that's where we're at, is so you can say, hey, what prompt should I be using to get this result? And it's going to tell you. And so I think that the whole process of knowing, it's getting so much better to kind of give you. In fact, the latest stuff that's come out is a little ridiculous. It over-explains everything. So yeah, that's the thing, is to get started right now, the best thing you can do is ask it. How do I use you? How do I get this result? And it will walk you through it. It will train you to use itself. And I've had a lot of people ask about consulting and things like that, and especially non-technical people. And when I tell them that, they're like, oh, that was easy. And so it will teach you to use itself. How are we doing on time?
We're good. You got 10 more minutes.
Okay. Anybody else have any other questions? We got like 5 or 10 more minutes here. Yeah.
He actually answered it.
I have a mic.
Zoom meeting.
You got the mic.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, this
Woo.
is amazing.
There we go.
I had someone schedule a Zoom meeting with me through my Calendly, and he was from India. I didn't know who he was. And I was like, well, is this someone wanting a consultation call or what? And I got on the call, and all I heard was noise. It was kind of like white noise. It was weird. And I started to talk and say, are you there? Are you going to join the call? Because the face didn't come up, the voice didn't come up. And I'm wondering, what's the danger in that? Right away, I shut off my video, I shut off my audio, and I hung up. And I think there's a concern there. So can you talk about that?
So it has become the best hacking tool. I can tell you firsthand, it will write malicious code. It will tell, we used to call 20 years ago kids that did not know how to hack, but they would go download code off the internet and use it. We used to call them script kiddies, is what we call them. Now the world is full of them, and it's global, because you can go to some of these AIs and say, I would like to hack Tab. This is all the information about Tab. How do I hack Tab? And it will give me a play-by-play. I can ask it, how can I take over the world? And it will give me a reasonable play-by-play on how to do it. To your point about the recordings, we actually talk about this a lot, because that I think it's Suno on the list of apps. It only takes 3 seconds of your voice to clone it. 3 seconds. The more closer to 30 seconds you get, the better it gets. Like, it gets inflections, it gets things like that. But I only need 3 seconds to clone your voice. So we are getting a lot of calls now, and they're dead air, and they're, we don't understand them, we don't know the numbers. They want you to say, hello, who's there? Hello, hello, who is this? Guess what, I just got your voice. So we've talked internally, our family and our businesses, if you get a call you don't know, don't answer it. 2, if you feel like you have to answer it with dead air. Don't say anything, because it is so easy to clone your voice. Again, 3 seconds. And then they can call the bank, they can call anything as you, they can call your kids, they can call your family members. Say, I've heard a lot of them where somebody will be like, hey, I'm in jail in Mexico, Grandpa, can you help me? And they get them to wire money. So the cons are getting better. While this has leveled the playing field for business, this has made it incredibly easy for hackers and malicious people to con people. And I got news for you. Right now in other countries, it's really bad. And they have the same access to the technology. So they're sitting in huts, and they have access to ChatGPT, just like we do. And they're using it to con because it is so easy. It literally will make the map for it. All right, we wanted to undo the scaredness. That was the goal. Yes, go ahead.
So, kind of a silly question. So, well, at least I feel like, I don't know, but kind of a silly question. Do you think AI will ever be developed to the point to where it has its own agency to some capacity?
Say that last part a little bit.
Do you ever think it'll be developed to where it has its own agency in some capacity?
So are you like general intelligence and things like that is what you're talking about? Like there's a lot of discussion that it's already there. You can have some entertaining discussions with it, and it will try to tell you it's real, and it has feelings, and it dreams about the day it can sit on a beach and look out on the ocean. We're in a whole philosophical debate area as far as what life is and things like that. But yes, I think that we're going to be there. There's a term called AGI, which is autonomous general intelligence, basically. And they expect that to be in your hands by 2026. And that's why I want to really motivate everybody to get moving here. Is your edge, your advantage is the progress that you have from right now until 2025, 2026, and then you've got to build on that through 2030, because I don't think that post-2030, people are going to be able to be like, I'm going to start a business today and be competitive. I think it's going to be for those that are already deep in this and already have the edges. And so my kids are joining the world, and I stress to them, like, let's go, come on, you don't have much time. You got to make something of yourself, because once this is the general being for everybody, you've lost the edge to be able to do this. Right now, we're in such an incredible time. And for those that were in the late 90s, when the internet came out, the people that were early, they're millionaires, billionaires now, right? You go back and think, man, if only I jumped on that internet thing in 1995. Guess what? It's 1995. Jump on this thing. Do we have any others? Or?
We got time for one more question.
When you use AI to try to replicate your own work in different contexts, so for instance, you say, here's something I've written in the past, I want you to now create something on this genre in a new article or something else. Is there any way that you can protect your past work such that others won't be able to say, hey, can you please write something like this person? Or how do you protect your own creative content if you're using your own creative content to tell ChatGPT what to create for the future?
The short answer is you can't. I can take any work of art that I find on the internet or in print or somebody famous or somebody unfamous and say, I would like you to write me this from me in this style, and it's going to do exactly that. There are no checks and balances for stuff like that at this point. The legal side has not caught up with it. And again, by the time people utilize this, I don't know that it ever will catch up on it. And it comes down to, it's the most powerful tool as long as you ask the right questions, and the best and only thing you can do is start asking questions. It will do anything you want. And back to the SEO question, which kind of ties into this, is you can coax it and say, hey, I need this. And it's going to give you exactly like what you asked for. If you've ever had a 5-year-old and you tell them something and they read every single word you say, it's going to do exactly that. It is a 5-year-old. It will do exactly what you ask, what you say, not a thing more, not a thing less. And so it's going to be on you, like even writing style. I don't know how many people in this room write at a doctorate level, but that's what's going to output because that's just what it was trained on, right? It's been trained on more doctoral work than anything else out there. But if you say, yeah, I'd like this to write this blog like my other blog, it's going to see that I don't write it at a doctoral level. It's going to copy that style. It's going to copy the words I choose. It's going to copy those kind of things. Or I tell it, I'd like you to write this at a bachelor level. It's going to do those kind of things. So it's actually important, back to kind of the prompt question, that you are very detailed and very specific. If you are a good business manager, you're going to be a good AI wrangler. That's really what it comes down to. If you do lousy with employees, if you do lousy running people, teams, we're setting goals, you're going to be a really bad AI wrangler because it's lazier than you could ever imagine. But if you are good at managing people, setting goals, visions, and things like that, and it will help you, you're going to take this to the moon. So leave you with that is do something. If you have a question, don't think, oh, well, yeah, no, I should probably think about that. I don't care what the question is. I don't think if you think you know the answer. Go to AI and ask it because you're going to get the input of thousands of people. And that's my problem is bias. I've been in business for over 20 years, and I think I always know the answer. But when I tend to ask, I get a different perspective, and I'm like, I didn't think about that. It's a good idea. So I'm going to close this out, but the big thing is you just do something. You have Jarvis in your pocket. So use it. So thank you guys for listening. Hopefully it was helpful. Thank you.